Hello, YouTube. Well, I just got finished editing my very first web commercial. Now, what happened was I got affiliated with a gentleman who is basically running a digital marketing company, and we basically agreed to help each other out. I'm going to be shooting a series of different things for them, and I agreed to work with them on some stuff, and the first thing I got was a commercial for a restaurant called It's So Vegan, which happens to be a great restaurant, and it's very exciting. And so I set up there and I wrote my plan, but you know how production is, things go wrong. And so I documented a lot of it. Like, I got a lot of BTS just so I could show you guys like behind the scenes, and I didn't necessarily record what was going wrong, but I just wanted to make a video about it because I often talk about the things that go wrong or the things that you have to deal with when you're a filmmaker or a videographer. But I've never made a video like explaining it and breaking it down and showing you the finished product of whatever it is, the person is working on. When you go into filming something, it's just like planning a wedding. So you plan the wedding and you can have everything all spelled out. Guaranteed, like 10 different things are going to go wrong. Something is going to be delayed, and that's just how it is. And you just have to control the controllables, control the big things, and then the little things won't hurt so much. That's my philosophy. So I had a really great shot list for this commercial. And one of the things I wanted to do was have a longer version of the commercial, like have a minute 30 seconds. And that just be mostly about it's just more of like a vanity type commercial. And that's what this ended up being. This is something that they can use like just on their website or just on Facebook, just to give the like a person researching them, just to give them like a visual of what the vibe is, what the environment is like. And so I wanted it to look like a fun, happening place, a family place, a place that is cool to chill out with your friends at, just because it's associated with veganism, it doesn't have to seem boring. And then also we have a lot of people of color there, which, in Dallas, there's a lot of people of color trying out veganism. And so, I wanted to show that, because we don't get to see that a lot in the media as representation. So we've got a lot of that. Now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to shut down the restaurant for a few hours, whether it be early in the morning or late at night, because I wanted to get the shots that I needed. I wanted to control the environment. And every producer knows that controlling the environment is key to making sure that you get exactly what you need. But not only that, it makes it easier for you to edit. And so I didn't get that. That they wanted to, they had plans. And so I decided to work with it. What happened as a result is I couldn't get the visuals for the food that I wanted. I just had to get it as it was coming out, because one of the rules that they have there is that the food has to be really hot. And so the waitresses didn't really want to stand still for me to get my shots. Like, I had a lot of good plans on doing a lot of things with the food at different angles, but I couldn't get it. So I just got what I could as the food was coming out. There were certain angles that I wasn't able to get because there were real customers there and I didn't want to bother them. I couldn't move people that I wanted to move and things like that. So many times I was shooting in like an awkward position because I couldn't like disturb the actual customers. And so the actors were great. The actors, they did everything I asked them to do. And so I was really proud of them. So grateful that they came out, because even when you have you invite friends or whatever to a shoot, like certain people they'll want to shoot something and they just don't want to pay anybody. So they will say, oh, I can just get my friends to do it. But your friends aren't actors and they don't know how to take direction. They don't know how to give me what I need on camera. And so that's why I had a few actors placed around in the restaurant to give me that. Now, some things I was able to get because they didn't close down the restaurant, like this little girl dancing. I was able to get like a lot of footage of people just randomly dancing, and I wanted that. I wanted it to look like it was a fun place to be. So that actually helped. That was some stuff that I wasn't planning on getting that I wanted to like fake, but it actually happened while I was there, so that was great. Now, this is an actress named Daryl, and she is pretending to tell a funny story that I told her to tell so that I could get them laughing and everything. And so that was great. These guys, they are troopers. I really like this bunch of actors because, they all came on time. They all took direction well. Everybody was super professional and easygoing. I truly hope I get to work with them again and give them some paid work out of this. I think I'm going to make like a separate reel just for each one of them, of just them and only them, and focusing on them and their facial expressions and things like that so that they can just use for whatever. But anyway, I wanted to get a lot of shots of outside, just to show, what it looks like on the outside. But my cameras were acting really stupid when it came to the daylight. And so I had to shoot this with my phone. I actually shot a lot of it with my phone. So I had two DSLR cameras, Canons. And then I used my phone as a backup. I actually like using my phone a lot more because it adjusts quickly, not like my cameras. The color is perfect, not like my cameras. Everything on my cameras is manual, and it slows me down. Every time I use my phone, I get exactly what I want every time. People don't understand that, but it works for me. Now, I was supposed to have, like, in the beginning of the commercial, the two co-owners sitting there opening it up, them being loud and vibrant. There's things going on in the background, and them talking about the restaurant. But it didn't work out that way, so I got them to sit down on the couch and talk. Now, right before, like once I got everything quiet, I was hearing like a humming noise going on, and come to find out it was from the refrigerator. I actually may not be able to use any of this footage. What I'm going to try to do for them is like salvage it and just do whatever it is I can to because they looked cute. They had on their outfits, they had their makeup done, and I know that I can just make like something really short. They could do whatever they want with it, but that way the footage isn't wasted, and we'll see how that goes. But another issue that I faced was colorization. All right, using 3 different cameras. 2 of the cameras were not the same. One was a T5 and the other one was a T3 or T3D or something like that. And basically, they looked completely different from each other. I liked all the looks that both cameras were giving me, but they weren't giving me the same feel and mood. And when I was trying to change it, like, it was just like, I didn't realize how different it looked until I started shooting things. And I was like, okay, let me try to fix this. Nothing was working on one of those cameras. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just shoot it and then I'll just fix the coloring in post. But then when I went to go fix it in post, it wasn't changing. Like, nothing was changing. And so I was like, okay, well, what I'll do is I'll take the footage of all 3 cameras, and then I would just like mix them so that it's not so noticeable. The only people that would notice it would be other filmmakers and videographers. But like to the average Joe, they won't notice that things are so different, or they'll either think I did it on purpose, but I didn't. If I had everything together in a perfect world and I was rich and I had all the equipment I wanted, then, it would be a different story. But, the thing is, like, I'm a new videographer, all right? And so I'm doing a lot of building of my portfolio right now. And so, like, I totally know exactly what I was going for, and I know exactly what could have been better and what went wrong. But a person looking at it, they don't know that. And they're just going to judge me and my work based on somebody who has like thousands of dollars worth of equipment, and they had a controlled environment and everything was perfect, and they had the crew that they needed and everything. Well, it was just me, my kids, and 3 different cameras, a restaurant full of people, and a handful of actors that I agree that graciously agreed to give me their time. So, things were shot not in the order I wanted. I didn't get everything I wanted, but I did the best that I could with what I had. Now, the crazy thing about me is that, like, I had to learn Premiere like in one day, because I'm so busy that I barely have the time to do a lot of the things that I do. And so I had a friend of mine tutor me on just like the basics of it, just so I could get this done, because one of the things I pride myself on is that I have a quick workflow. I like and get things done way faster than other videographers, just because I'm hyper focused. Now, I don't want to sacrifice the quality of my work for that, but I did want to give the clients what they needed quickly, because just because they're used to not having what they need quickly enough. You get what I mean? Like, the videographers that they've used in the past have let them down as far as getting their stuff back to them in a timely manner. So it's been like a few days since I shot this, and what I'm trying to do is take my time so I can give them the best that I can, but also like have that balance of like giving it to them like within a week or whatever. And I don't think that's that long to waste. So what I'm gonna do is, what I'm gonna tell them is, well, let me say this. I'm going to perfect it even more, and then I'm going to show them the finished product. If they're happy with it, they're happy with it. If it doesn't seem like they're happy with it, what I'm going to tell them is, look, this is what I was able to get based on, the situation not being perfect. I want to shoot certain things again so that I can get the exact type of commercial feel that I was trying to go for, because there's a lot of things I was trying to go for that I couldn't get. And then I think they'll be happy with that. Me wanting to go the extra mile. So here I am, and I'm trying to find the music. Now, this is the thing. Usually when I edit stuff, I edit with the music first, and then I start matching everything. But this time around, I was like so out of my head. Like, I was trying to do too many things at once. So I wasn't able to pick the song. So then my friend stopped me. He was like, you got to pick the song. You can't do this. Like, you can't work backwards. It don't make any sense. So I was like, yeah, you're right. So I started going through all these songs, and I found one. I was like, here, I wanted to show one of the owners, like, here's a song I found, da-da-da-da. And he was like, can you find something a little bit more neo soul? And I was like, okay. So I looked in the music files I had. They didn't have a neo soul type of whatever. So I was going through like hundreds of songs, and it was slowing me down. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to pick one, and they're just going to have to go with it, because if I will get stuck, because now he's in my head like, oh, I want this sound, that sound. Like, it was slowing me down. I needed to figure out how I was going to just get it done. So I picked a nice song, and then I started like matching everything to it. And it was okay. Like, at that point, things started to go a little bit faster. I started to edit faster, and it started to come together. A lot of the footage that I took, I didn't end up using, because just because it wasn't necessary. I was trying to cut it down as short as I possibly could. And so what ended up happening was I just got a lot of short spots or whatever. And so I think I liked the commercial. I think it got what it was an essence. Like okay, let me put it this way. My objective was to make it look like a fun happening place, a family place, and a friendly place. A mixed place, a place where you can have a good time and get good food. That's what I got. Was it the commercial that I pictured in my mind? No, but that's okay because it still came out good. Now, there's certain things that I wanted to do that I couldn't do, like put the address on it somewhere. I'm going to go back and do that. Just minimal things like that, and I'll show it to them and see what they think. But here is the commercial, and I hope you like it.